speaking today, I have Jide Ologun, legal practitioner and national development advocate, as well as Yemi Adamolekun, executive director. Enough is enough. Yemi and Jide Ologun, thank you for showing up today. Okay,
you're welcome.
We have spoken to Jide Ogunye, who is on his way to becoming SAN very soon, by the grace of God. You know, we also had Awar Rasfanjani, both of them talking about you know, the planned protests for August 1. And then we had also on the program Mr. Ken Caleb Solumese, who is a major icon in the entertainment industry in Nigeria. The founder, chairman, promoter of Night Shift Coliseum. But first, let's start with the protests, and then we can talk about entertainment. Yemi Adamolekun, I know you are already protesting on social media. will I be correct to say you are one of the leaders of the protests? Because we have been looking for the leaders.
I don't know why they're looking for something that's not lost. When it comes to August 1, if they come to protest grounds, they'll find Nigerians speaking and they can decide what to do. But I think, I mean, both Mr. Ogunye and Rafsanjani just spoke really to the fundamentals of the right of citizens to protest. Mr. Ogunye also expressed his concern around the demands and sort of clarity of thought put into the demands that people are making. But I think for me, I'd really like to focus on this whole issue about government looking for people. It's the same government that says they've gotten intelligence that foreign mercenaries or saboteurs or hijackers have plans to affect the protest. But the point is in two parts. The same intel that the State Security Service has access to should hopefully be able to provide them with intel about who these people are. That's the point I was trying to make. Mr. Ogunye made the point that if they preemptively arrest people, the Nigerians might cry. And I beg to disagree. I think if the SSS has intel or people who are planning to sabotage protests, harm people, cause destruction, there's an assumption that they have evidence. What we've seen in the past, unfortunately, is that our security agencies pick up people without evidence, just on a hunch that, or someone wrote a petition, as we saw with the FIJ journalist a few weeks ago, Daniel Ojukwu, because someone wrote a petition, but without doing an investigation, they picked him up. And if not for the alarm that was raised, he ended up being in jail for 10 days until he was eventually released without being charged to court. So if there is intelligence and there's an assumption that the intelligence is intelligent with who it is and what the plans are, I doubt that Nigerians will raise a fuss if those people are arrested and the evidence is shown that and charged to court immediately by law with evidence that this is what they were planning. That would be the way to go rather than wasting time and energy talking about our intelligence tells us. I don't know who I saw, I think it was Major General Buba or someone saying that our intelligence has told us X, Y, and Z and huffing and puffing about the challenges. Spend the energy and the time actually arresting the people. Rather, what we've seen our security agencies do is pick up young Nigerians who are printing posters, printing T-shirts, doing videos, calling people to come out to protest and saying they're inciting people to violence. I'm not quite sure what part of the word protest. Yes, maybe protest speaks to discontent, but discontent does not equate violence. And the consistent intention, I just saw a statement by the IG of police, the consistency of government in saying the violent 2020 EndSARS protest speaks a lot to intent. The EndSARS protests were not violent until after government unleashed violence, as has been found by the ECOWAS court and by the Lagos Judicial Panel. So after government unleashed violence and peaceful protesters who had maintained peace for over a week went home, criminals then took the opportunity to take to the streets and destroy property. Tying that to EndSARS after government's violence is wrong, and it's false, and it's a lie. And so calling the NSAS protest violent, intentionally, constantly referring to it as violent NSAS protest is wrong, because the people that unleashed violence was the government in the first instance. Now, are there criminals in society? Yes. Will bad people take advantage of chaos? Yes. So when the police and the military decide they want to make peaceful protesters their focus and take their eyes off people who are looting and protesting and causing destruction, the people that should be held accountable should be the police force, because it is their job. I will end by saying this very clearly. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, as faulty as it might be, is very clear. The security and the welfare of the people shall be the primary responsibility of government. I don't see citizens in there. I see the word security, I see the word welfare, I see the word primary, and I see the word responsibility and government. So let's be clear about who has the responsibility for keeping Nigerians safe, who has the responsibility for keeping protesters safe, and who has the responsibility for ensuring, quite frankly, that Nigerians don't need to protest in the first place. Thank you.
Yeah, Section 14, Sub 2, Section 39, Section 45. Well, over to you, Jide Ologun.
Thank you very much. And I pick it from that Section 14, Subsection 2.
Oh, yeah, lawyer, that's true. Thank you.
And if you go to Section 39, it guarantees the freedom of expression. And that brings us to defining the word protest, which is an expression of displeasure, of dissatisfaction, and calling for attention. So are there situations in the land that call for dissatisfaction? And the answer is yes.
It's a loud yes.
And in public relations, we speak about crisis management. It can be proactive or reactive. John Magufuli never had to handle issues of protest in Tanzania, because as soon as he came into office, he evaluated the situations and started attending to them. For instance, cutting down the cost of government. It was a time when the government was planning to celebrate independence and a huge budget. And he said, no, I'd rather put this money into enhancing the capacity of the health sector. He also intervened in the area of traveling for executive leaders and things like that. And he was able to bring a sense of belonging. And you look at this man, you talk of Niger, Republic.
Chad, Mali, Burkina.
No, where Dangote is being invited to come and invest now. You know, okay, he's a military... Gabon. Thank you very much, doctor. This is a military man who took over and now offered his citizens that, let's move to democracy. They said no. Continue. Why? Because he's investing in agriculture. He's empowering the people. He's opening up the space for prosperity. So if the issues of Nigeria have been attended to, why are we protesting? I mean, naturally, the DNA of protest is in man. When a child is born at that tender age, let hunger come. That child will start protesting. Right. But let breast milk be released. The child starts smiling and becomes collaborative. And that is the point I want the government to focus on. You know, and again, I said it earlier, that we are in a macro environment, talking about the globe. If anything is happening outside your country, you should learn from it and expect that someday it may influence your own citizens. You saw what happened in Kenya. Nobody is for violence. I'm not for violence. But you see, there is a need to be responsive, because what is the theme now? End bad governance. What is bad governance? The opposite of good governance. What is good governance? There are 3 P's in good governance. You talk about people, process, and performance. So can we claim, and you talk about the elements, transparency, accountability, and of course, enhancing the fortunes of the people. Can we claim that we have that currently in the country? And the answer is no. So what is government doing deliberately to attend to these concerns? And if you don't attend to these concerns, the people will be compelled by circumstances. For instance, the inflation rate now is about 33.9%. You talk about the pump price of petroleum, the
queues.
increase in
34.19%.
electricity tariff, different kinds of issues bombarding the citizens. And they now look back to the government that by virtue of Section 14, subsection 2 of Nigerian Constitution 1999 has amended that you referred to, man, that the security and the welfare of the citizens shall be the primary purpose of government. So when this purpose is not being felt, then people will begin to express their displeasure. And what is going on now is in Section 40 of the Constitution. When you have the freedom of expression, you also have the freedom of association. So minds are coming together. Are we going to continue like this? At a time, people were relying on NLC until they realized that NLC is only focusing
But
on...
the Nigerian Constitution also does not say that you can cause mayhem.
That is the point we are making.
Chaos.
You see,
Rage.
So who says
The
they are
Constitution does not say so.
So who
It
says they are
does
causing?
not.
But who says they are causing mayhem?
but
I don't
primarily,
understand.
No,
doctor,
the state agencies, the security agencies say they have intelligence indicating that
Yeah, but I
people
addressed
want to
that.
sabotage.
I address that.
the
Let them
government.
go after the people. That's their job. Let
that
them
is
do
the
their
point.
job.
If you
Simple.
have intelligence,
so
then go
amplifying-
visiting them.
Precisely.
Prevent them.
Precisely.
Bring them out.
Oh, yeah.
It's as simple as that.
What the state agencies have been saying is that they will do their job.
Have they done?
When they do their job, they do not expect that the media and commentators and all that will come and say, why did the government
But
do
I
that?
already- no, but
They
I
have served notice. What the Tinubu administration is saying is that you can protest, but with the beat, they say they will beat.
Beating who?
They will beat.
For what?
That is if violence is introduced.
If you cross,
Let
if you
me
cross the
say
line,
this
But why is that the
respectfully.
issue? Sorry, sir, but why is that the focus? Why is the focus, if you are violent, we will do this, we will do that? Why is the focus not what he has is actually addressing the issues? The government has spent more time courting stakeholders to tell young people to step down than actually solving anything. So we've had meetings with the Oni and Sultan. I'm not quite sure what they expect them to be doing.
but these are your traditional rulers,
which they
your
have,
leaders.
which they have disempowered. But let's leave that matter. We are engaging religious institutions. We're talking to
The people
everybody.
who preach to you every weekend.
But it's not, and that's the whole point. Why are you talking to them? Just solve the problems. People are hungry, solve the problems. We have queues again, solve that problem. There's insecurity, solve that problem. What does talking to a religious leader do? How does that help me? I should pray harder? Is that what you're asking me to do? Pray harder?
In a country where
People are not working.
Everybody is religious.
Well, we can pray, but even the Bible says faith plus works. So you pray, and then the people you elect into office, you also expect them to do their jobs. So as Mr. Jide has said very clearly, if they actually did their jobs, paid attention to global patterns and see that, there's a season of discontent. What do we need to do? But what do we get instead? Just profligacy
Jide,
and...
you are a lawyer.
Yeah.
If people violate the
Why is the
Constitution...
focus on the violation? Why? Can we not deal
why?
with the issues?
If you violate the Constitution...
Why are we focusing on people violating the
They
Constitution?
say will beat you. They
Let
will
me
beat
throw in
you.
a counsel to the government.
Thank you.
As much as we want a review of our constitution, it's so robust. If you look at section 15, subsection 5 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, it says that the state shall abolish corrupt practices and abuse of office. If we have not,
You're laughing too. Very
if
good.
we have not been permissive to all thieves, the gold thieves in Zamfara, the sponsors of terrorism,
Everybody.
we would have been able to harness the wealth of this nation to create commonwealth for common good, as stipulated in section 16 of the Nigerian Constitution.
Yeah.
And that is why I
Government
mentioned
saying,
the issue
reasonable
of being proactive.
living wage.
So the
Section
law
16.
enforcement agents, are they saying they do not know the oil thieves?
Hey.
I mean, let's ask this question.
No, they are looking for
Or is
protesters.
it a roadside business
They're looking for
that you can cover with a veil? It's a big time. The honorable minister in this country came out to say that powerful people are behind illegal mining. Who are the powerful people that you have
Who is the Minister
identified?
of Petroleum, by the way?
Our president and commander-in-chief
just-
of the
I'm
armed
just
forces.
saying.
You see, recently, out of the imminent frustration approaching Dangote, he mentioned the presence of a refinery near Malta. You see, and these things are quickly denied. Who are the people that brought contaminated fuel into Nigeria? Who are the saboteurs? against the economy of this nation.
Okay.
These are issues we should be addressing.
On the refinery in Malta, we don't have empirical facts. we don't.
Well, we have
Just like we don't also have empirical facts against the sponsors of Boko Haram, but Dubai had empirical facts, identified 6, prosecuted them, jailed 2 to life imprisonment, 4 to 10 years imprisonment. And they are not the direct victims of the terrorism.
The other subject, I see that the two of you are...
We're aligned.
Jide, you are a pastor. Yemi is Hallelujah church on Sunday. I wanted
what does that have to do with
talk
anything?
about...
I don't know what you mean by Hallelujah Church on Sunday. What is
I
that?
wanted you to talk about entertainment.
Mr. Ologun has some comments.
No, because we also discussed night clubbing. In your younger days, he was having night clubbing.
Yeah, Mr. Ologun has some
before
comments.
Jesus Christ took over.
But did you interview him for night clubbing or the fact that he's 80 and he built something?
Okay, yeah.
Mr. Talk about it. Don't make fun of the issues. No, I mean you interviewed him for what he's done in his 80 years. I mean I know of him, don't know him well, but yeah.
Okay, you are not a nightclub person. Pastor Ologun.
I congratulate the governor. You know, if you talk about night shift, I connect with that because one of the parishes of the Redeemed Christian Church of God once held in one of the primary night shift then, you know, and I operate around Allen and Okpebi, so I can associate with night shift. And I've seen in that man resilience and focus. And at 80, if he's still that articulate, I think it's something we have to celebrate. And he mentioned an issue very, very important, how people came together and wanted him out of, which is still part of the issues of life. Sometimes you want to put in your best, some people think you should not be there. So life is not a bed of roses. But when you are focused, when you hold onto your vision, you can always maneuver. And I think in his area of wanting to express his gifts, it should be fulfilled. And I think that's a lesson to everyone. And I must say congratulations to the governor himself. And I wish him many more years in good health and sound mind. I appreciate that sound mind aspect of him, particularly in an environment like ours, you know. So
a businessman with a sound mind at 80. Certainly a lot to do. In Nigeria, let me put it that way. A businessman with a sound mind at 80
doctors
in Nigeria.
Big friend. So congratulations to Doctor too.
Thank you. A hot balloon raised an Olympic ring of fire into a rainy sky, and singer Celine Dion sang from the Eiffel Tower as the first Summer Olympics in Paris for a century kicked off on Friday, with a 4-hour unconventional opening ceremony that unfolded along the River Seine. Heavy showers did not seem to dampen the enthusiasm of the athletes. In the meantime, U.S. rapper Snoop Dogg was the torchbearer of the Olympic flame hours before the game's opening ceremony. The iconic rapper carried the flame in the suburb of Saint-Denis, which is home to Stade de France, where France's national football and rugby teams play, and to the athletes' village. Instead of a traditional march into a stadium, about 6,800 athletes paraded for 6 kilometers on more than 90 boats on River Seine. Well, gentlemen, okay. In journalism,
But I'm not a journalist.
we're in journalism, we have gentlemen. What do you think? The Olympics, after 100 years, France hosts again. And it was a very special ceremony. Yemi, what do you think?
Well, I've just seen highlights, but I've seen that the comments around the opening ceremony was mixed. Rain didn't help. Some concerns around, for some people, the heavy messaging of the heavy messaging of the LGBT community that was reflected in the opening ceremony. But I think one of the good things about using a city as your stage is that you get to play with the monuments. People get to see the monuments in color, and we look forward to seeing how the Nigerian team shows up.
Well, the Nigerian female football team, they already played against Brazil. They lost 2-1 But there is hope.
They're still in the running.
Randy Wardrum will figure out the attacking side and the left wing, but we've seen some talent being shown. The goalkeeper, Abiodun, and also some other players in the midfield. The midfield is good. But we need people who can score. Jide Ologun.
You know, for the first time, you saw an opening ceremony taken out of the main stadium to project the beauty, the tourism potentials of the great nation. And then it's quite amazing. And of course, I must also commend Celine Dion, who has confirmed that she has an ailment, but is strongly still on the stage. So even if it takes her last breath,
She will sing.
she will perform with her gift. So there are many things to learn, and we are monitoring and hoping that Nigeria will do well, participate in there. And the goal of France was to bring the torch back to France. That also has been achieved. So we can all latch onto this, and as we say, it is not over until it is over.
Until it's over.
And
Macron gets...
Basically, it's a very strong marketing window for France, you know, for people coming to see. And of course, you look at the cruise, and even the rain could not stop them. So it's a beautiful and unique presentation. But then, those who will complain, will still complain, you know. So we congratulate France and all those who will win medals. Many nations have come to have a taste of the Olympics. So for now, we monitor as it unfolds.
Well, I mean, some controversies also. The Republic of South Korea being identified wrongly as Democratic Republic of North Korea, you know. But the organizers, they will apologize, you know, endlessly. The channels who also made that mistake have apologized. There was also the use of Picasso's Last Supper, you know, which Christians have been saying, look, was a denigration of Christianity. But, you know, the Last Supper is one of the most iconic pictures in the world. But Thomas Foley and his team, I guess, succeeded in, you know, showcasing history, diversity of France and also of Paris. And then we'll close it today. Well, it's such a sad piece of news that Senator Ifeanyi Ubah, the young representative of the people of Anambra South Senatorial District, slumped and died in his London hotel on the early hours of Saturday. In the meantime, tributes have been pouring in. Now, it's not only Senator Ubah that died, also, before him, we had the death also of another great son of Igbo land, and former President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo, Chief Emmanuel Anyanwu, who died at the age of 82. Many will remember Chief Emmanuel Anyanwu as a veteran of the Civil War, the founder chairman of Hadel and Enik, an engineering outfit, and also of the sports group in Wanyawu National, and also of the newspaper Daily Champion, and also, you know, he became in his last days the President General of the Ohaneze Ndigbo worldwide, at home and abroad. Well, Yemi, very quickly.
Yeah, condolences to their families. Quite unfortunate.
Well, Jide.
For Chief Wanyawu, you know, he was also a philanthropist, and he really occupied the stage because from our young age, we've been reading and hearing so much about him. So we express our condolence to the family and our Southeastern brothers and sisters. And for the senator, it's such a shocking one at 52. And again, we express our condolences to the nation and pray that God grants us the strength and the fortitude to bear this. And we say adieu them. That's all I can say for now, but while passing through this stage as pilgrims, they've made their marks. So I think the biggest lesson for the living is also to look forward to the final stage.
Our condolences, indeed. The families of the affected persons and all who have been privileged to know that. You've been watching This Day Live, the Sunday talk show, here on Arise News. I'm Ruben Abati from my entire team here in Lagos. It's bye for now, and thank you very much for watching.